My name is Dudit, Settle Builds and stuff, and today I've got a Strand Titan build all based around damage reduction. We're going to be using the debuff Sever. Damaging a target severs their connection to the world 40%, it debuffs them by 40%, it stops their damage. On top of that, we're going to be featuring a new perk Slice, so we're going to have infinite sever whenever we want. We're also going to be stacking this with woven mail for 45% damage reduction, some absolutely massive damage reduction. Severing target's ability to damage about 40%, stacking that with woven mail, and on top of that, I'm also going to show you how to make unraveling rounds anti-barrier. Really good, with a couple of really good new perks. Stay tuned, I'm going to break it all down. So, the sword in question, or the weapon in question, there's a couple of weapons that roll with Slice, but I'm going to focus it on this Dragon Cult Sickle. Slice, casting your class ability, allows this weapon to sever targets on hit for a brief duration, up to a maximum number of targets. So it's a really good new perk. You just throw your class ability down like so, and you'll see I've got that Slice for 8 seconds. Well, it was 7, but it's actually 8 seconds. So it's really easy to do. So I started racking my brains. I was thinking, well, what can we do with Slice? Can we build into it? And we can actually do a really good build with it, with an all-time favourite exotic of mine on the Titan, the Abeyant Leaps. Drenger's Last spawns 2 additional projectiles, tracks targets more aggressively, and travels further. Gain woven mail whenever you suspend something. So all we have to do is use our class ability. We're going to get woven mail from the Abeyant Leap, and you've literally just got instant woven mail with Abeyant Leap. And on top of that, we've used the class ability for Slice, so we are also severing targets. So it's a double whammy, a double buff, double debuff to the enemies. Really good. 45% damage reduction from woven mail, 40% from Sever, 85% one way or another against that target that you sever. So it's really good, just like so. Severed, these are just examples. You got the woven mail, that dog is severed, so his damage reduction is 40% to you, and also you've got that 45% woven mail damage reduction. Absolutely crazy. Now, Abeyant Leaps are just absolutely fantastic on the Titan. Look at that, really easy to use, and just by using it, you're getting all them debuffs mentioned. Super strong. Really good little setup I found, and it's extremely useful for harder content. Like I said, this is just examples to show you a little loop, the little gameplay. Put your rift down and bang. And then on top of that, obviously on a Titan, we've also got things like Banner of War to add to that, which is going to heal you, give ourselves big damage as well with swords and melees. So it all fits very nicely, perfectly together. Look at this unstoppable champion. He's literally like putty in your hands. You got that woven mail going. He's severed. Really nice. And you hardly take any damage at all. Look at that boop there. He hardly did anything to me. So Sever, Slice, woven mail are 3 aspects, but there is a lot more to go into. 3 components to the build. We've also got things like Banner of War. Defeat a target with a melee attack, finisher or sword to raise Banner of War that pulses with energy, periodically healing nearby allies, increasing melee and sword damage. Obviously that's perfect with all the debuffs going on. You're going to get healing and damage to your swords and melees. Drenger's Lash, this is the one that you must use for Abeyant Leaps. Activate your class ability to create a ripple in reality that travels along the ground, suspending and damaging targets. And as I've mentioned a few times, that's instantly giving you woven mail with Abeyant Leaps. So a couple of aspects like so, and it really starts turning into a massive damage reduction build. And you can sort of see here, that's the Sever effect, all that green stuff, severing and unraveling rounds, which we'll go into a bit more. I've also got some more things to show you with regards to unraveling rounds and how useful they are with this build as well. So just to sort of finalise this part of the sort of video, just basically wanted to step it up from the Lost Sector on Nessus to an actual 1830 Lost Sector in the EDZ. I'm like 1815 in this, so I was 15 under, and you're really taking hardly any damage at all from these severed targets with that woven mail. So these are just examples. I have got loads more stuff to show you, which is coming up after this next clip. But we know Banner of War, how good it is, but with these sort of components, Sever, woven mail, and the Slice perk, it just really excels Banner of War even further than what it already is, because you're just having just absolutely massive damage reduction. You can just run around like so, get that Banner of War going all the time. Now, another perk that I rolled on this sword is Attrition orbs. I also wanted to show you how this can work really nice as well. Dealing sustained damage creates an orb of power. So this perk paired with Slice actually works really good, because we'll compare with the seasonal artifact perk Unraveling Orbs. Picking up an Orb of Power grants Strand weapons, unravelling rounds. Obviously the sword is Strand, so we're going to get everything else that you've seen going on, plus unravelling rounds, just by picking up an orb from the Attrition orbs. It's absolutely nutty, and it all fits perfectly together. It just feels like an absolutely perfect mix. So unravelling rounds, they actually count as anti-barrier, so as long as you're not running something like Overload Pulse at the same time on the seasonal artifact perk, swords don't have any anti-barrier capabilities normally this season, but look at this, really good. You're doing dealing the damage with your sword to gain the orbs, you're picking up the orb to get unravelling rounds, and then your other unravelling rounds do extra damage, but unravelling rounds actually count as anti-barrier. You'll see here, I've actually broke his shield. So you've got everything else you've seen going on, your Banner of War, your Sever, your Woven Mail, and on top of that you've got unravelling rounds for extra damage and anti-barrier. It's absolutely nutty, and like I said, all this now is fitting very nicely into a nice build. We can even go further than that, because of the orbs, the Attrition orbs, we can even use that for Strand weapon surges, because we'll create loads of orbs via the Attrition orbs on the sword, and you can even use recuperation on top of everything else that you've seen, replenish your health each time you pick up an Orb of Power. So as if this build or setup couldn't get any better, it just did, just with them mods, getting an infinite Strand weapon surge from the Attrition orbs, health on orb kills, and everything else you've seen going on. Absolutely disgusting. Loads and loads of damage reduction. Look at him, he can't do nothing to me. I don't know if you've ever tried to take a knife attack from this guy, he absolutely wrecks you, but when you've got that Sever and Woven Mail going on, he can do nothing. Quick go over the aspects now. Banner of War, which we've touched on. I'm going to go over my fragments and aspects as well. So Dreadger's Lash, again, which we've touched on. Now we'll quickly go over the other little bits and bobs. Now regards to your melee, your grenade. Grapple grenade is something I strongly recommend on this build, just for Banner of War, but you can actually switch out to Shackle Grenade as well if you wanted to for more suspension. Frenzied Blade, Strafe Lift, Rally Barricade for shorter cooldowns. Now, fragments, Thread of Continuity, Suspend, Unravel and Sever effects applied to you have increased duration, obviously perfect fit. Thread of Generation, dealing damage generates grenade energy, loads of grapples. Thread of Transmutation, while you have Woven Mail, weapon final blows create a tangle, just extra damage. And then Thread of Mind, defeating suspended targets, grants class ability energy. This one is absolutely great with Abeyant Leaps, because we're going to be killing everything and just getting loads of class ability back for your Dringer's Lash and Woven Mail. So really good fragment for this one. Now, weapons to fit with this, if you want to just take the mickey really, if you've got a conditional finality line about this, is an Abeyant Leaps on their own are absolutely insane. Like, so much control, you can freeze, explode, you've got ignitions, and adding that with the conditional finality and the Abeyant Leaps together is just on its own, just absolutely nutty. Total domination. It's a video I did a couple of seasons back. Abeyant Leap's conditional finality, still absolutely fantastic. So you've got all that suspension going on, you can freeze, ignite, plus everything else you've seen going on with your sword, the severing and everything else like that. It's absolutely brilliant. Really good pairing just on its own, conditional and Abeyant Leaps. So just do a quick recap of everything else. Well, everything that you've seen in this video. Anti-barrier, Sever, Woven Mail, Slice perk, absolutely crazy. Loads of control with stasis if you've got conditional finality. Another thing I just want to slightly focus on a little bit more is Unraveling Orbs. The artifact perk, picking up an Orb of Power, grants you Strand weapons, unravelling rounds. This fits many different weapons. Not to mention, Quicksilver Storm can also pair with the sword. Look at that, unravelling rounds with orbs. Absolutely fantastic pairing. So loads of different weapons to choose from. The only thing I've got left to do now is just leave the rest of the build playing out. The mod's pretty straightforward if I'm honest. I'll leave a dim link. I'll leave it all playing out. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Have a good weekend.